Today I'm going to show you how to zoom in, zoom out, 4 different things on the same picture. So I have a couple of pictures here already loaded up. This one's got 3 waterfalls. We're going to zoom in and zoom out of each separate waterfall. And the way you do that is through magic motion. So I'll highlight that and then choose magic motion and then user defined. Now you'll see a timeline here and it has an indicator underneath, has 1 keyframe already showing you where that is. Okay, I'm going to zoom in on this waterfall right here. So I'm going to add. There's a plus sign next to the diamond down at the bottom. What it does is it adds a keyframe there. And then you have a box. And you simply make the box whatever size you need it to be to show that particular waterfall. Okay. Now, I want to leave this in place for a second or two. So we'll move the timeline indicator over and drop another keyframe in. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I want it to back up and show the whole picture again. So what I'll do is add a keyframe. See, I've added keyframes. That's a zoom in, a hold, and then we're going to come back out. I'm going to take the blue dot and put it squarely over the center. And then expand the window so it shows it. Okay, now I'm going to do the center one. So what I'll do is move the timeline indicator. I got to show you this. If you just try to drag it, you'll drag the keyframe with you. So what you do is you simply go down the timeline and click. Then you can move this anywhere you want. So I'm going to add a keyframe here because I want to go and zoom in on that particular waterfall. And up here you can see what you're going to get on your screen. And I want to hold that one for just a second also, so I'll move the timeline indicator and put another keyframe. Now it's going to hold that position until we move. So I'm going to move it again. And the way I'll do that, I move the timeline indicator, I put a keyframe in. We're going to go over here, expand this box a little bit to show this third waterfall. Now I can zoom in a little bit more if I want and move this over. We're going to open that up just a little bit so we see some of the water. Okay, and I want that to sit there for a second. So what I'll do is I'll move the timeline indicator, give it a keyframe, and then what we want to do at the end is I'll give it a keyframe, and then we're going to return back to the center and expand the box. Oops. To show the whole picture again. Now, if they look uneven, you can change these just simply by clicking and dragging. Okay, we'll go over here, hit stop, and then play, And let's see what we got. It's zooming in on the first falls. Staying there. Now it's going to back out. And then it's going to zoom in on the center fall. And then wait there. Good boy. And then move back out. Oh, we went directly to the waterfall. I was going to go back out. Okay, now that's a mistake. And that keyframe right there should be there. This keyframe goes there. Okay. Now we'll put the timeline indicator there and we'll play it and see what happens there. Okay, we went back out, came back in, and immediately go out because I don't have one holding it. Now I can add the hold here if I want to. I'll put the timeline indicator there and add a keyframe. And that makes the hold. And I can adjust these. Now I'll take another look at that again. This may be too long getting there. That's all the way out. That's zoom in. That's all the way out. That's zoom in. That's should be a hold. And we have, now if you don't like what you see right there, you could simply right click or click on that keyframe and hit the minus. All right, that took that away. Okay, that's where that is. I'm going to add a keyframe. I'll make sure those are both the same size. I'll just toggle between the two keyframes. That was a hold, and that's okay. So what we'll do here is I'll just run through it real quick. We'll zoom in, zoom out, zoom into that center, out, zoom in again, zoom out. Okay. So that one's okay. Now I want to show you how you can highlight people. If they're in your picture, you've got multiple people in there. We're going to do basically the same thing, except for I'm not going to zoom back out each one. I'm going to use my magic motion. I'm going to use user define, and we're going to take about that much time to zoom in to this lovely lady right here. Okay, and then what we're going to do is about halfway through, I'm going to add a keyframe, and then we're going to center this lady. And then about here, I'm going to add another keyframe. I'll take my blue dot and move it over here, and we'll center her. You notice I'm looking at the screen here as I'm doing it. And now we have the last one, which comes back. And so you can see all of them again. We'll expand this to show the whole picture. Now what we'll do is we'll play it, looking at this screen here. And there we're zooming in on that lovely lady. And then we pan over to my sister-in-law and her friends and co-workers. I don't know why we're zooming out yet. Looks like something didn't take. I'm missing zoom in on her. That's what happened. All right. It's not a perfect science. You make mistakes, but you got to know how to fix them. And if you click on each one of these keyframes, it tells you where your box is at any particular moment in the timeline. If you don't like where it's at, you can always slide it over. It takes a long time. I've got a lot of time here between it, going from one to the other. So we'll say that's okay. And we'll take a look at it. I got to make sure this is not, that it's on movie. I'll take a look at it full screen. This is what you end up with. Now we hold, and then we'll come back. And as soon as you can see all three of these again, we get back to regular picture and then zoom in. Now it's always better if you have a higher quality shot. This was taken by somebody else on the trip. There was 50 of us that went along to Alaska on a cruise. They took a side trip to these falls. I don't know what kind of camera they were using, but apparently it doesn't do as well. Now, this is taken with my camera. It's a little better quality. Of course, the lighting's better too. But you can see how we move, and you see each person's face as we go along. And now it will zoom out to show the whole picture. Like I say, you can adjust these as you go along. You look at it, you go, no, I don't like that. You can adjust it. So, that's how you do that. Check with my site again, and you'll probably find some more stuff.